Hey guys, welcome to Nat Stars Lounge. My name is Natalie. If you're new, welcome. So today we are going to dive into these salad rolls. Now, before we do, I should mention that I make plant-based recipes. I upload my content once during the weekday and one on the weekend, so twice a week on Australian Pacific time. And then after you guys get to see how I create this, we're gonna tuck in and we're gonna have a chat about lots of different things. So you guys keep tuned, hit the like and subscribe button, and you'll get to see more content from me weekly. And let's go see how we make this delicious salad rolls. Ooh, wait, with peanut hoisin sauce, homemade. See you guys soon. Hey guys, so welcome back. You've just been watching how I've made this. So I've altered this a few times. So these are actually the corn pieces that you saw that I mentioned in my last video. I finally got to making them. I was gonna make these last video, but I had this craving, like I said, for burgers and chips, but it's kind of hot today, so I'm like, I'm gonna make these guys. So you've seen that I had some red peppers, cucumbers, corn pieces, and the marinade that I did, I let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours. So there was Canadian maple syrup, only kind you should use, fresh garlic paste, sesame oil, and soy sauce. I just eyeballed it. I don't measure, guys, unless I'm baking. Baking and measuring are two things that should go together. But if I'm not baking, I experiment. I just splish, and I just see what happens. So I'm going to try it by itself, and then I'll add the hoisin sauce. And then I have Pepsi today. I alternate between I mostly drink water, and I treat myself to coffee about 3 times a week, and once in a while it's a Pepsi Max, but try to stick to water mostly. And there's fresh basil in here too. Sometimes I put mint, but I felt like basil today. There's days when, you know, you feel like something really heavy and comforting, and sometimes you want something light and fresh. I'm just feeling a light and fresh today, so let's get to this hoisin sauce. It's quite thick. It's not bad. So the hoisin sauce I actually found at this Asian supermarket in the big Westfield Garden City Mall. I can't remember what it's called, but the hoisin sauce, I couldn't find it. I actually had to ask one of the, oh my god, I actually had to ask one of the workers where it was, and she didn't know what it was. I'm like, hoisin sauce, and I don't think she understood what that was, or maybe she didn't speak English very well, so I asked some other guy. He's like, aha, that's what it is. So yeah, I guess because sometimes I guess lots of things that we think are from a country are actually not. They're just obviously Australia has invented some things and then just plastered different names on it. I'm not sure. I know that happens a lot, especially with other cuisines. People are like, oh, this is what I think, you know, Mexican is, or Vietnamese food is, and then I mean, there's different regions of things of authenticity, but basic recipes of things aren't always authentic, especially in Australia, and that tend to change things a lot. But I think it's fun to mix things up, but I also think it's fun to like learn the traditional ways of stuff as well. I kind of like to do that, but this isn't traditional, obviously, because I'm using plant-based stuff in here, but it's really good. I really love to find a really good place to get plant-based ramen. I love ramen. I know there's this like big fat around it, but like when I was younger, I used to love soups and stuff, like pumpkin soup. You know, when I was eating meat, it was chicken noodle soup, things like that. But as I've gotten older, I don't know if I should, like, your palate just changes, but I really love ramen. Pho, all that stuff, it's so good. It's a piece of basil in my sauce that came out. Yeah, I just like experimenting with foods. And I noticed when I came over here, because I was in Canada, back to Australia, apart from Brisbane City, there's not a lot of vegan options. So it does make it tricky, but because Brisbane City is a bit far for me to go, and that's one thing I think they need to work on, is like, I know the reason why businesses have their location in busy parts, but it's always only like CBD areas. It's just like, I get because there's more traffic there for their business, but there's a lot of people that can afford and will go and pay for good quality products, but don't want to drive over an hour to get to it all the time, and they treat it as a special occasion thing. So it would be interesting if they could have places, you know, I know some places have pop-up shops, but they always pop them up in the city, which is pointless. Like, you need to pop it up in an area where it's so far from your store it will help you promote it. And I mean, if it did really well and you did it for like a trial, you might be able to open up a business there and get more clients. I'm dropping it. Sorry. My daughter wanted something, so I had to pause it for a minute. So as I was saying, you know, I have a strong opinion with stuff like that just because I worked in retail for over 10 years, in all sorts of different sections like supermarkets, fast food places, cosmetic places, you name it, I've been there. Remember I had this one interview for a job, and see, lots of people, they tend to just say whatever they think that the interviewer wants to hear. I'm not that person, and I know that doesn't always help, but that's just how I am. I had this one guy, at first it was going really well. Like I used to be really shy and introverted, but now I've become more confident and I say my piece and my opinion, and obviously I respect the other person, but I don't hold back in a sense, unless it's really necessary. So I just pretty much asked questions, like, because at the end they go, do you have any questions? I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, how much traffic do you have here? It seems like it's a quiet end of the mall, like da 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 da. And he seemed to get really offended by it, and it's like, well, if I'm going to be working somewhere, I need to know why we're only getting hired as a casual, you know, at this time. Like, is it really busy? Like, what's the purpose of this? And he seemed really offended. Obviously I worded it different, I wasn't being rude, but I don't think you should be afraid to ask questions like that, because, you know, sometimes you get a job and you just like, oh, I won't say anything because you need the money, which I've done before in the past, and then you work there and then you have all these surprises and it's just horrible. So I'm not going through that again. But I'm staying away from retail now. I just prefer anything creative, you know, like cooking, chatting with you guys, making music, and also like helping kids out, drawing, things like that. Yeah, people who like stick with retail for their life, they're an amazing bunch, because there's a lot of stuff that you deal with people. The stories I could tell you. Oh god. So I worked at this, first story. Okay, I worked at this place that sells nuggets and chips, burgers, meals that make kids happy. Can't really say the name, I don't know how copyright works, but, and this customer came in, and I was only working there, I was just barely 15, so you already know how it works when you're that age. You're already targeted in retail. This customer came up, and this is like in the old school days, so we didn't have like all these like digital things. Like, it was like literally the cash register, and it was like buttons, and on top of the buttons it was like a printed laminate sheet of what, so if you had like the whole laminated sheet, it had all different words, like you know, something chicken, like, you know, the burger, all the things like that, ice cream, all that stuff, and you'd press it, type it in, and then it would come up manually like a calculator with the amount that it would total cost, and it would tell you the change and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't that far back. Anyway, so the customer, their order was like, I don't know, like was it $17 and something cents? God, it's a long time ago, I don't know the exact dollar amount, that's such a big thing to remember, but I don't know why, for some reason, wait, no, it wasn't $17. He gave me $50 note, and his change was like $20 and something cents. So I gave him his $20 and whatever cents it was, and then literally this guy went crazy. He's like, excuse me, where's my $20 note? And I was like, well, I gave it to you. And then he went rank. He's like, this girl's lying, blah blah blah, like all these profanity words. So I'm like, I'm gonna get my manager, here we go. So got the manager. He yelled at the manager like you always do, blah blah blah, the same exact thing. My manager literally counted the till and I wasn't even missing 5 cents. And he's like, well, maybe she put it in her pocket. And then I'm just like, are you serious? Like, I am not going to lose my job over $20. So obviously I pull my pockets out and then I'm like, look at the cameras, blah blah blah. And then at the end of it, he still was adamant that I had taken it and I didn't give him his money back. And then he just went off and started flipping trays and all sorts of things. So he got escorted out, and then we found out later on, about a week later, that he had been doing that to a lot of different stores, and I'm just like, wow. But I've luckily never had to deal with a customer like hitting me or beating me up. You see things like that and you're like, what goes through people's minds? And they think, I don't know you, I'm not getting my way out of the store, let's just have a little psycho bit. I don't get it. Like, those people are just working there, they're not in charge of everything. They're, all these companies are getting those people to, you know, do all the dirty work, and they hide behind them, and then all the small employees get attacked. I'm sure there's companies out there that are on the forefront and do help them out, but a lot of them don't. But another story, I have so many stories, guys, about this. Working at a natural cosmetic company that sells a lot of vegetarian, vegan stuff. You should probably clue into what store that is. Over in Canada. Lovely store, loved working there. Remember, this customer came in, and you know how you get those customers at stores and they've been there for like, oh, I've been shopping here for 10 years, so they are used to like the original products of things, or like they just like, they have so much knowledge but they're kind of pretentious about it. So yeah, this is what this customer was like. And pretty much like, we work in Christmas time, so you know at Christmas time they have lots of casual people on stores like that, so there's probably like over 12 people working in the store. This is a small store, plus a manager. So she was looking for like this massage bar, and everyone was obviously trying to help her out, and like I only worked there for a few weeks, so obviously they're not going to come to get me to help her because, you know, she's being a bit difficult and they have more experience than me. So they talked to her for a few minutes, and I was just kind of listening in, because I was more listening just to learn how to, I've done retail for a long time, so I know how to deal with situations, but it was just to get information on that particular product, to learn something. I like to listen to learn. Anyway, and then yeah, she's like, I don't want this massage bar, this is not the right one. And like, she was, at first she was slightly annoyed, but then she got really angry, so the manager came over and they're like, yeah, and she's such a lovely manager, so sweet. The lady calmed down, but she was still irritated. So I waited a while and I sat there, and I kind of intercepted, and I was like, you know, I just heard that you're having trouble finding what you're looking for. And then it looked like she was annoyed to have to repeat herself. And then I'm like, I heard that you're looking for massage, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, yes, but no one seems to get it. And I was like, okay, so what were the ingredients in it that you remember? And obviously I could tell that she was really knowledgeable, and then she just sat there listing the ingredients. So I literally got the, because underneath the products is like in chalk is in the ingredients list. I picked it up and I was like, let me just check if this is the one you're looking for. She's like, it's not. I'm like, okay, well, so you said da 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 da, and I read the ingredients out. She's like, that's exactly the same match. I'm like, oh, maybe they just changed the look or something. She's like, yeah, I think they did. And then at the end of it, she bought that one, and then she's like, oh, it's so annoying that they changed it, and I walked out, and my manager was like clapping. She's like, you handled that so well. And you get so surprised, like, you know, it's amazing to like have that feeling when you help someone and they're so annoyed, but at the end she was like pretty happy. So you know, give the new employees a chance, guys, because they can surprise you. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I won't be able to eat this all, but Save some for tomorrow. So good. So next video, guys, I have made some loaded supreme nachos. I'm so excited. I just like I told you, I will make anything plant-based. You tell me, I'll make it. And then after that, I need some ideas because I really want to make something sweet. I made lots of savory stuff, so if you guys have any ideas, pop in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.